Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Cape Rugby TV. It's our final episode for the year. We've done 50 episodes. This is episode 50 of Cape Rugby TV, and we're wrapping it up, and tonight we're just going to look at some of the highlights of the year. And of course, joining me this evening is Lyndon Julies, who's no stranger to Cape Rugby TV. Nice to have you here, Lyndon.
Thanks for having me, JP. Good evening to everyone. And yes, it's been a very good year, 50 episodes, so it's good.
Yeah, it's fourth season, 4 years, 50 episodes. That puts us, I think, just over 230 episodes so far.
It's a lot of airtime.
It's a lot of airtime, yeah.
Yeah. So if you were in the first, if you as a sponsor, the first episode you were on here, you would have had about 200 episodes, you know.
Yeah. A lot of airtime, a lot of airtime value. Yeah. All right, folks. We're going to guide you through some of the highlights of the year, and it all started at the beginning of the year when we went out to the Cape Town Tens. Bob Skinstad and his crew at the Cape Town Tens there, and no better person to talk to. Well, of course, lots of guys, but what an absolute highlight for our Cape Rugby TV fans. We managed to catch up with the legend himself, Carlos Spencer. We'll show you now some of those tracks from the Cape Town Tens at the beginning of the year. Right, folks, I'm here at the Cape Town Tens. It's a fantastic day. The weather's been absolutely incredible. And with me is New Zealand legend, and of course he's been in South Africa for a while now, Carlos Spencer. Carlos, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Thanks very much. So, enjoying the day. Just arrived this morning and managed to get in a couple of games now. So we've got the final next. So I'm looking forward to that.
I reckon our fans must think that you're the fittest guy in the park. Are you?
Oh no, I don't know about that. I might look it, but there's some, a couple of the older guys there are doing a really good job. So I'm just glad to come and help out, really.
How many of the guys here actually know you've been spending quite a lot of time in the boxing ring?
Not much actually. I've been spending a bit of time in the last couple of years. So I want to obviously get back in there probably 3 or 4 times this year if I've got the time. So I've obviously hung up the boots and got out the boxing gloves. So I'm really enjoying it. It's something physical and it keeps you nice and fit. So. Yeah.
And you guys have been doing quite a lot of charity work. I know that Connie Giantjes and yourself, you guys have been doing travelling, you're doing these box and dine things. Tell us a little bit about your charities.
Well, the last one we did was in Dubai, and it was for a local guy here in Cape Town, and for a guy, Mike, he got hit off his bike. And, we raised a bit of money for him, so we got a few boys together. A couple of South Africans, a couple of English League boys, a couple of Kiwi boys, and we went out to Dubai and put on a good night, actually, a good charity night in terms of boxing. And then, I come back here and did one in Cape Town the week later. If we can raise a bit of money for these charities, and take a few punches for it, then it's all good.
And tens, how do you find this style of rugby, playing tens? I mean, apart from the fact that it's massively social and the beer is cold.
Well, that's probably the 2 main reasons, really, isn't it? But no, just the atmosphere, look at it. The people come out and support it. And I think for us as the international team is to get back out here and play with guys you haven't seen for years. I can't remember the last time I saw Pat Howard and guys like that. So to come here and play with those guys, when I haven't seen them for years, is tremendous. That's the good thing about rugby. It brings guys like us back together, and we can have a bit of a duel. So it's nice.
Well, it's great chatting with you, and I mean, our fans are Carlos Spencer fanatics. So we look forward to having you on the show at some stage. So we hope you enjoy the tens. I know that Bob's put on a spectacle here, and we're going to go catch up with Pat Howard now. Actually, he looks like he's really.
He looks a bit worse for wear. Look, he's got a graze down his face, but just a grass spoon.
Yeah. Hey. Thanks, Carlos.
Yeah. Cheers, bro. Okay. Thanks, sir.
Check the bod, guys. This is the lady shot. That's the money shot there. Carlos Spencer, the legend himself, played I don't know how many matches for New Zealand. If we look at that in the rugby space, Lyndon, and lucky to have Carlos Spencer in Cape Town.
Yeah. I mean, it sets a platform. I mean, people are talking about the Cape Town Tens already. So it does really, if you have a legend like Carlos Spencer. I mean, he brought in the no-look pass. So there's quite a few things that he brought in that kids these days are using.
Yeah.
So it's good to have him at an event that has grown so much over the years.
The tens has gone to a whole new level as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple of legs that they want to put into international. So I mean, Bobby Skinstad and the crew at the Cape Town Tens, they're doing well. Yeah. A lot of sponsors pulling in, and a lot of guys just going for a jaw, but then there are also guys that are serious about the tens,
Folks, one of the other highlights of the year was seeing the newcomer, Siabela Senatla. Of course, he's been playing in the Springbok Sevens. He's done fantastic. And he made his introduction into the Super 15 team, or at least made his debut in the very first opening match against the Bulls. We managed to catch up with Siya Kolisi after the Bulls match, as the Stormers played against the Bulls at Newlands. And Sia, of course, was kind enough to interview Siabella on our behalf. Let's quickly catch up there with Sia Kolisi post-match after the Bulls as Siabella made his debut.
It's an interview. We're back at DHL Newlands. Stormers' first game at Newlands since the break. And we've got a new test, a new cap in the Stormers camp. Man, how did you feel playing for the Stormers for the first time?
It was electric, man. The crowd was awesome. The guys were awesome, solid vibe. The guys played well. I just ran around and tried to touch the ball, but I couldn't. But it was an amazing feeling.
Pretty good, man. And how do you compare the sevens compared to the Stormers vibe at the DHL Newlands?
It's pretty much the same vibe. You see, the guys are very like they're also at the sevens, and it's a compact type of setup whereby there's not a lot of players, so we're very personal with each other. I like here there's a lot of players, you see, but the vibe coming from the guys and the support that they're giving me, it was awesome, man. I feel very welcome myself.
All right, well, we're glad you feel welcome, and we're really happy to have you here. Hopefully you'll stay here longer. Enjoy for this.
Thanks very much, sir.
Well, there we go. Sia Kolisi, and he's, of course, interviewing Siabella Senatla. Lyndon, Sia Kolisi, before we talk about Siabella, what a great season for him, apart from his injury.
Yeah, it's been a good season. He's bounced back very well. He's also very positive about how the season turned out. And I mean, guys having fun at the beginning of the season, in front of the mic, you know.
He's one of those guys that after every game, he had no problem coming in front of the camera.
Yeah, he is. He enjoys the camera. I think he's one of the good role models that we can have for, you know, he enjoys it. You know, he's have fun in front of the camera.
Of course, the guy we're focusing on there was Siabella. Siabella made his debut. And we watched him now towards the end of the year in the Currie Cup. Well, did he play in the Currie Cup? Well, with the Blitzbokke, and I mean his Blitz on wheels. Huh?
I think if anyone didn't know how fast Siabella Senatla was, now they do know. I think the commentator in the Dubai Sevens, they were waiting for the Senatla show. So they were waiting for that time. In soccer, they've got Fergie time. They're waiting for Senatla time. So it was good to see him in action.
Yeah, no, it really was spectacular. Of course, Elsies Rivier, we went out there. Now, Western Province Rugby were doing a lot of good work at the schools, and the Hubs program was one of the highlights of the year. 86 odd schools managed to get themselves rugby coaches from Western Province at school level. And for me, one of the highlights was the interview at the Belvini Primary School in Elsies Rivier. Now, you kind of had to enjoy the moment. You had to be there and watch the kids seeing the Currie Cup and of course, just enjoying the coaches at the schools, teaching them a bit of rugby, all part of the Hubs program. Let's catch up with the Currie Cup as it travels to Belvini Primary School in Elsies Rivier.
I have a diploma for my school's best rugby player and one for successful player. I've got the bag and a head, and I got 3 medals. One for successful and one for best player of the year and sportsman.
My naam is Emily. Ek doen rugby en ek hardloop, stap en ek by discus. Ek het 'n rugby award gekry van VP en 'n sertifikaat ook. As vir beste spelers en en vir suksesvolle spelers ook. Dit is baie goed vir my en dit hou my van die strate af en
the kids are having a bit of fun there at Belvini Primary School, and I think that was probably my favorite video of the year. Lyndon, I don't know if you saw that video on YouTube.
Yeah, I did, and I was actually, you know, it was a good thing for the Western Province to take the Currie Cup there. I think they will cherish that moment for quite a while. I think those kids really, I saw the lady, the teacher there, when you came in there and they saw the Cape Rugby TV. So it shows that people are watching Cape Rugby TV, even though...
Yeah, we know they're watching.
Yeah.
There's a couple of million watching.
Yeah.
But for me, what got me in that video was it was kind of, it was an emotional video.
Yeah, it was. I mean, everybody didn't expect the Currie Cup to get there.
Yeah.
And also Cape Rugby was there to capture it. So, I mean, looking back at that video, that all these people, the kids will realize.
But it also just goes to show what one can do with rugby out there in the communities.
Yeah,
if you're doing rugby
exactly.
at a club or a school.
If you're using it properly, and also if your administrators are working hard, then you know you'll definitely get out of rugby as much as you can. I mean, those kids will enjoy the moment that they had with the Currie Cup there. Like you say, I mean, they had fun, you know. So it's something that they would cherish, and then also you.
No, that was I think that was one of my favorite videos. My favorite moments was the I mean, we keep talking about it as if it's the Currie Cup, but it's not. It wasn't just the Currie Cup. It was the fact that the kids were so positive at the school at Belvini Primary. So for me, that was a highlight. Folks, it is of course New Year's Eve. We hope you're enjoying the show this evening. We are looking at highlights of the various activities during the season. We'll still take a look at some of the classic matches that happened during the year, and of course the Currie Cup, which we did bring to Western Province as they beat the Lions at Newlands. We'll take an ad break, and when we come back, we'll start looking at some of the fixtures, the top fixtures, or one of the memorable games during the Currie Cup. Welcome back, everybody. Yes, Cape Rugby TV. It's New Year's Eve. Hope you're safe on the roads tonight. Remember, you've got to be very careful when you go out there. And we trust that you're enjoying yourself. At about 9 o'clock, you can, at least at 10 o'clock, when you finish the show, you can go out there and you can have a jawl. Of course, support the Vasco Tavern. Get on the Vasco Tavern tonight. You'll have a lot of fun there at the Vasco Tavern. I have some Portuguese peri-peri steak roll. I go for the steak roll. You'll have a jawl. All right, so let's look at some of the games over the weekend. Lyndon, with me tonight, of course, Lyndon Julies from St. George's, PR coach, media man, and extraordinaire. Big match one of the big matches we looked at, and we looked at this match more from a footage point of view. We liked the way that we filmed this game because, you know, we normally film from the side of the field. This time we got up on the roof and we had a little bit of bigger action there. Was the match False Bay against UWC. I know you weren't there on the day, but False Bay had a great season.
Yeah, they did, and I mean that game UWC actually did push them to the limits. Actually, in fact, that was one of the games that I also enjoyed.
Yeah.
Given the fact that all the angles was there, and then also the facilities was at the point where Cape Rugby, or where the cameraman, where Gert and his team,
Gert and his team
could find the proper angle. And I mean, it was a good game also. So it wasn't just about the angle; it was a good game.
Yeah. Let's take a look now at those highlights. False Bay up against UWC. Of course, False Bay came away there with victory, 19 points to 7. Let's see what happened. Yeah, so that was a tough game. Lyndon, UWC were bitterly disappointed on that day. I mean, they had a lot of injuries though, but it was a close game for them, and they played away.
Yeah, I remember the coach Oliver Janssen afterwards said, you know, they were inundated with injuries. So I mean, to come back or to play Falsbay, and Falsbay was at that point they were very strong contenders alongside Hamiltons and Martys and Ikes. So I think that what UWC have accomplished on that day was pretty good, and also the conditions suited Falsbay. Obviously, it's their home, so they know where.
Yeah, in that game, Falsbay were down. They were 10-0 down. UWC went into the break leading 10-0.
Yeah, and
I mean,
just the one pass that didn't go to hand, or the knock-on that didn't go. I mean, UWC broke Falsbay's stern defense, and I mean, still they managed to keep Falsbay at bay for a quite. Well, no pun intended.
But they definitely proved, Falsbay, they definitely proved why they're back in Super League.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they scored a bonus point, 19-7. It's pretty close, but it's a bonus point win over UWC. Yeah. So that's a big win for them.
What do you expect from them for next year?
Falsbay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Falsbay is probably gonna do a few transactions in the transfer window. But I think Falsbay definitely the last couple of seasons they have come quite close. I think they will go for it.
And of course they're playing in the Community Challenge this year.
They are, and I mean I think they played there last year. This year they did pretty well. So I think Falsbay, I think the guys are finding their rhythm now, the coaches, the players. So there's quite a good breed of players there.
Yeah. Right, folks, so that was Falsbay UWC, was one of the what we liked as a viewable game. The other game that we quite enjoyed was getting down to Primrose. Now, this was a massive game between SK Woomers and Primrose, and I think one of the reasons we picked this out was because there was a march on the day, so a lot of people came down to Primrose, but because those two clubs who've got such a lot of history had, I suppose one of the reasons we picked the game is there were really so many fans. There was in excess of 3,000 fans around the field, and it was one of the closest games of the season. Not only the closest game, it was a draw at the end of it. Let's check the highlights now. SK Woomers against Primrose at Primrose. A big game, that one. SK Woomers against Primrose, typical derby style.
My oh my. Yeah, that was a very big game, and as you said, there was a march the morning, so everyone just made their way down. But it was a general family vibe. If you look at the people next to the field, It's that, you know, everyone comes down for the afternoon, spend some time.
No,
on
I
the
must
grass
say,
pitch,
you know, it was well organised. The guys all had walkie-talkies. Crowd control was sorted. There was a couple of bump and push in the crowds there, and that, but you know, one can sort of just focus. If you focus on the game, you don't focus on the spectators too much. It was a great game. In fact, I think it was one of those games where. I think maybe it was Primrose who could have taken it at the end, or SK could have taken it at the end, but one or two kicks or decisions just went the wrong way.
I think the result is pretty compliments both sides. I think they've had a good season, both of those clubs, and also I think the bumps and bruises on the side are just family members that haven't seen each other for a long while, lost contact, so they just exchanged numbers. So I mean, that's good. It's good to have that at club rugby.
Well, you know what, we said after the game there couldn't have been a better result. Two clubs with so much history coming together on the day for reasons other than rugby also, and they came away with the draw.
I mean, we were down at Brookside playing against Villager, and then also like we were also anticipating for what was the result, because you don't know which way to go, because building up to the match both sides were having, you know, hot and cold, lukewarm seasons, but I mean on the day.
Well, talking about Brookside, one of the other games that we thought was an incredible game was the Solarians against Villagers game. And I know half of the Elderberg came out there. Now, this was a great game as well. We really thoroughly enjoyed it. And when the Solarians guys came out to Brookside on the day, everybody was dressed to the tees. They had suits on, it was designer clothing, it was really fantastic. But what a game. This was a game that was a decider in Super League B. And Solarians came out guns blazing with some heavy hitters. The mighty Solarians, it didn't work out for them on the day there, but how was that little grubber there? That thing's gone. That little video clip there of, this is Ryan Geldenhuis, I think? Germishuis. He had a star season, but a good win there for Villagers.
Yeah, I think Villagers didn't never back down. I mean, that was on the last. That was literally in the last, in the dying minutes. I mean, they were trailing by 3 points.
Yeah.
They didn't give up. They went for it, and I mean that just shows what kind of season they had. Deservedly winners of Super B. There was a lot of controversy afterwards, point system and whatever. But I mean, I think they deserve to win Super B. Yeah.
Solarians blowing a little bit hot and cold this year.
Yeah, I think
compared to before.
I think few seasons back you would expect Solarians in the 60th minute to open up the taps and the dam walls burst open. But I think this year they just neutralized. I think there's something that has been picked up by.
Do you think the guys have kind of worked out their game plan? I mean, they know that they've got Earl Rose and those.
And they got the big hitters in the mid as well. And then the Flyers come on with 10, 15 minutes to go. I think 2 years back when we were trailing them, I think 25-18. And they came back and they thrashed us, I think 40 or 38 something. So I mean, that was their.
One of the other games that we're not showing as a highlight was the Solarians St George's game. I mean, when we were at Gastro in the rain there. But that was another incredible day again with thousands of fans.
Yeah, I think that day as well. Obviously, with crowd control, you've got to for the derbies, you've got to focus on that as the home club. But I think that day was also a good day. I think Solarians realized then and there that people can actually match the mighty Solarians. I mean, they've had a good couple of seasons, but I think, like you say, hot and cold all season, but credit to them, they're in the Super A next year.
I've just got to give a shout out to Manny Williams, Manuel Williams, Manny, whose texts I absolutely cannot read on Facebook. I have no idea what he says in those. I don't know how he writes those texts, but to Manny out in the Helderberg region, playing lock at Solarians, you've been fantastic. Your support and your crew at Solarians have really been great this year. The support that we've had from you guys for the Cape Rugby TV show. To Manny, to you and your family, really. We hope you guys have a fantastic New Year's Eve, and remember we say stay safe on the roads. And yes, folks, you are watching Cape Rugby TV. This is our final episode for the year, episode 50. That's 50 episodes this year. Only 4 more, and we would have been only 2 more, and it would have been the whole year. Yeah. But yeah, to Manny and the rest of the squad out at Solarians, we wish you guys a very happy New Year, and we look forward to your progress in 2015. When we come back, we'll take a look at what happened in the President's Cup. There's some interesting matches there, and with me tonight is, of course, Lyndon Julius, who's helping me through some of the memories of 2014. We're back with you after the break. Yeah, so welcome back, folks. Yes, Cape Rugby TV, our final edition of the year. We took it all the way to the very end, as we promised. We couldn't leave you high and dry before you go out jolling tonight. So it's a wrap of the year. And as you can see, I didn't even shave for tonight's show. Who cares? It's holiday time, eh, Lyndon?
That's right, yeah. I said I can see you've had a couple of seasons by the colour of the hair on your chin. Yeah,
all right, so this year was a different year. The format changed. We went into the Super 15. In the beginning of the year, a lot of people were a little bit confused by it. Like, is this going to work? Is it a good idea? From the leagues into this first half, second half, into the top 8, bottom 8, top 6, bottom 6.
Champions League, President's
Cup. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think the games, it worked. I think the growing pains are obviously there.
Yeah.
Stuff that was there, but I think the good outshone the bad. Because there was a couple of games where the rules had to be laid out before and the rules had to come into play. There was 2 draws where there was dropouts and everything happened. So I think everything, the President's Cup, the top 8 teams having the opportunity to play a return fixture, which is not there anymore because of the top 15 structure now, which is always good to have a bit of revenge and a bit of bragging rights there for another season.
Yeah, look, we had some couple of star performers also and the interesting about it was that some people dropped out in the league and they were able to bounce back. And
yeah. I mean, look
at
Milton, exactly. Milton, I think a couple of weeks before the league finished, they said, no, look, they're not going to go for the league, but in the President's Cup, they went all the way.
Yeah, they finished 6th on the log or something.
6th on the log.
And then bounced back to win the President's Cup.
Bounced back, I think they finished 4th or 5th.
Yeah. Anyway, so one of the games there that was a big surprise was, of course, the match at City Park in the knockout stages, leading up to the President's Cup Day, which was to be held at Newlands. And the surprise win there at City Park was, of course, Hamilton's against Belhar. Belhar coming out there with a victory, 32-29. Let's catch those highlights.
Bella! Newlands, here we come!
Lyndon, you don't often see the guys that happy after a win, eh?
Yeah, I think the season was basically done. I think the way Bella came back, all those guys in that setup, they were really happy. I don't think they expected the win. I spoke with Coach Norman Jordan before the game. He was pretty subtle about his approach to the game and everything. But I mean, the way the guys played, you could see Bella threw everything at Hamilton's.
I mean, we weren't really sure what happened there. It's like almost Hammies were just a little bit asleep. A lot of people took it for granted that Hammies would win that game.
Yeah, I think the way that the Hammies approached, I think you could see after the match also the way the body language of the players of Hammies, they thought like, look, it's over and done with. Probably because the season is done. You know, this is game 17, 16 that you don't really go that far in this new structure. But I think
they also spoke. I mean, I spoke to Anton Moorman after that game, and he said that the guys had, they played in the community cup.
So yeah.
And then from there straight into the
league.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's been a long season for them as well. But credit to Bella, taking nothing away from them. I think the guys did very well on the day. Also, the community of Bella was a buzz for that whole week. So it was good. It was good.
They're absolutely loving it, yeah. Speaking about Belhar, of course, Belhar then went on to the President's Cup final day at Newlands, and they had another spectacular day. It didn't work out for them, but they went up against the mighty Durbel, who in Durbel once again showing their strength, who did really well, and Durbel walking away with some prize money. 30,000 Rand went to the winner, Durbel, and 15,000 Rand went to Belhar, and that's a bit of a first as well, is seeing that there's prize money for the players, and that worked out well in the President's Cup. And of course, it was Belhar against Durbel at Newlands. How fantastic was it for the players to play at Newlands? Let's check out those highlights now. Belhar up against Durbel, playing on the mighty Newlands.
Coach! 1, 2, 3, lower. 6! 9! 6! 7! 7! 7! Stay out, lost.
So yeah, it was a good win there for Durbel. Walk away with 30,000 Rand prize money, and of course Belhar walks away with 15,000 Rand. But Durbel,
Durbel proved once again why they were forced. I think, but Durbel over the couple of years have proven that they are definitely a strong contender for the league in not too long. But credit to Bella, and I think the two teams will remember this day for they played at Newlands. I mean, they walked in the corridors where some of the great players of the game found.
It's kind of a little bit sad. They're not going to come up against each other now because Bella is going to play in the Community Challenge and Durban are going to play against in the Community Cup.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see how they do together in the Community Challenge.
See that, yeah. But I think Bella are doing good, getting back into the Community Challenge again. But like you say, it would have been good to see them in the Community Cup.
Yeah.
So interesting times ahead.
Now, we've had some really great games, folks. You are watching the sort of highlights episode of Cape Rugby TV. It's been 50 episodes. It's New Year's Eve. We hope you're having a fantastic time out there. Remember, you can find us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV, and we look for your comments on Facebook as much as possible. So share your thoughts and tell us what you want to see for 2015. It's going to be an exciting year, and we're looking forward to covering lots and lots of club rugby. Of course, it starts early in the year with the Community Challenge, which starts, I think, on the 7th of February already. So it's not far away now. We're looking at about 5 weeks away, and you start with your very first Community Challenge. All right, folks, the other big match that happened on the day at the President's Cup at Newlands, or on the President's Cup day at least, was Milnerton up against Villagers. And this was Milnerton bouncing back after not having a great performance in the league, but coming back at Newlands and having a fantastic result. Let's catch those action moments. Well, if you're a club rugby player, I think that's where you want to play. We do know that the clubs want to play at home because then there's gate takings, Lyndon, but it's still nice for the guys to be at Newlands.
Yeah, I think it was a good opportunity also to bring out your sponsors. I think the Newlands opened up the boxes for the day. So it was good, and then everyone could come and enjoy a day at Newlands where you see club rugby back at Newlands. And I think the management at Western Province are doing a good job trying to get club rugby back into DHL Newlands.
Good result for Milnerton. Eddie Teron leading from the front there, captain at Milnerton.
Yeah, I think they did well. Coach Ishmael Dolly, they're doing pretty well there. So I think they, like you said, they had a very challenging season, being 5 or 6 weeks off Ramadan, and they also had the compulsory bye weekends, like just before that.
Yeah.
So I think they bounced back very well. They had a couple of friendlies within this week, within those 5-6 week break. So they came back very well. Yeah.
All right, folks, we'll take an ad break. When we come back, we'll start moving into the professional sector. We'll speak to Nizam Kar, and we'll also take a look at the Currie Cup highlights. Of course, we walked away with the Currie Cup this year. Back with you after the break.
Is debt destroying your life? Matfin Money Matters has the home equity leverage plan to turn your situation around, using the difference between the outstanding bond and the current value of your property. We will help you to unlock the equity in your property, settle all outstanding debt, and clear your name at the credit bureaus. If you're a homeowner and permanently employed, visit matfin.co.za or SMS debt to 31022.
Get down to the Vasco Tavern for our famous mouth-watering Portuguese dishes. Our friendly staff will help guide your taste buds through a selection of authentic Portuguese flavors. Our relaxed atmosphere is perfect for any occasion and adds to the Vasco experience. Whether it's our famous peri-peri chicken, our fresh fish, or the wide selection of beer on tap, our customers are guaranteed to go home satisfied. Find the Vasco Tavern at 3 Alfred Street in Greenpoint. So come and join us for a Portuguese fiesta. Welcome back, everybody. Yes, Cape Rugby TV. One of our highlights of the year must have been the fact that Nizam Kar, star performer at Western Province Rugby, who comes out of the club ranks, makes it into not only onto the Stormers field and has a fantastic season and didn't play Currie Cup, obviously, but got called up for the Springbok squad. Nizam Kar has been fantastic this year.
He has been amazing, and I think he slowly but surely was like he matured and he brewed so, and then he peaked at the proper time. I think the time the Currie Cup.
And the club fans must be so proud.
Proud. I mean, he still has got his academy in Mitchell's Plain where he coaches up the kids in Lenteghe. So he does well. And I mean, at the right time, the right point, he got his call up. And I think the Springbok end of year tour.
Yeah, they should have put him more in the team. They should have played him right from the beginning. There, goal. If I selected that team, he'd been in the starting lineup every single game. Anyway, we managed to catch up with Nizam Kar at the annual Western Province Rugby Awards dinner, where he was, I think, Player of the Year. Nizam Kar. What a spectacular time he's had this year, and of course the club fans have loved every minute of watching him in action. Let's see what he had to say during the awards. All right. But folks, at the Western Province Rugby Football Union Awards, and finally we get him on TV. He's a very, very busy man. Nizam Kar walks away with 2 trophies tonight. I'm going to tell you about that in a second. Nizam, how are you feeling?
No, good, great. Really fortunate to be here and still going for the season. No injuries, injury-free, so it's really good to be here.
Listen, I'm not even going to talk to you too much about the professional stuff here. I got to ask you, do you know what you mean to the club rugby guys out there? Have you got any idea?
Look, my brothers are playing club rugby, so I go from, when I have a chance, I go down to watch Caledonian Roses, Primroses, and even Collegians. I got some family playing there, so the amount of people running to me is quite overwhelming, but to a certain extent I do, but I try not to let those things go to my head. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't need to go to your head. I think from our side, we can tell you, because maybe you don't always realize it, because we know that you guys have got a hectic schedule. It's so busy. Is that in the community space, everybody needs leadership and someone to look up to. And while you're not always on camera, we're always talking about you. And Sadiq, our camera guy, has often spoken about your commitment to your religion, and that this has made such a difference to people's lives. I think we just want you to know that, because we know that you're very busy. But anyway, so you don't have to pat yourself on the back. I'm patting you on the back. Let's quickly talk about the awards tonight. First of all, this was the Players' Player of the Year. Now, this is a big one, because it's the credit you get from your team.
From my peers. Look, it's very overwhelming that I got this from my own teammates. And I said to Pat this morning, who did he vote for?
Pat Celia or Pat Kim?
Pat Celia, yeah. So I said he can't vote for himself, and he obviously did. So, but I'm just kidding. But look, it's really nice that you get recognized by your players. Yeah. That is really special to me. And 2014, it's been an unbelievable season. Really, been great. It had its ups and downs, but quite an enjoyable season. And to walk away with this one here, it's really a big one to me. And like I said earlier to the journalist, that I don't pride myself on these things. If I could, give it to my teammates and my coaches for believing in me, giving me the opportunity. That's what it's about. Look, I always wanted to be a rugby player, also a professional rugby player, but I didn't know it was going to happen this soon. And it's just been an unbelievable experience. you know, to get this award from Adidas, it's obviously really special and one that will go down in memory lane. So
I don't think these boots are going to fit you though.
I'll force my foot into it. So it's look at it. It's really special, and you know, it's.
Now remember, Dwayne from Milan got one of these 2 years ago, and it was quite a lot bigger. I think it was a size 4. Anyway, I'm going to have to put that in my arm. Listen, Nizam, it's always a pleasure. You know, really, I think it makes a big difference to us talking to you and to the people out there. They're going to be so proud. Nizam Kade has been an absolute superstar this year, and then Western Province moves on to win the Currie Cup at Newlands. They beat the Lions. They nearly went into overtime. It was a close call, but it was a fantastic win for Western Province as they took the Currie Cup, and I think once again showed the difference in the depth between a union without any Springboks, as the other unions also had no Springboks in their team on the day. And we managed to pull, it just showed again the depths of Western Province. Let's catch up now with the post-match interviews after the winning the Currie Cup at Newlands.
Awesome! It took me 3 years to be out today. 3 years! And now! Thanks for that! Love it!
It was amazing. It was brilliant, especially winning it at home in front of Newlands. The final whistle. Thank you so much. I love you more than anything.
I would be working all year for this moment, and here it is. So what more can I say?
Awesome. Thank you for supporting us and keeping the faith. This for you.
Yes, I can't explain. It's amazing. It's the experiences, and especially at Newlands, it's amazing. Oh man, it's unbelievable. Especially the city at Newlands, it's unbelievable.
Listen up. What time is that? What time?
Thank you, brother.
How are you, man? Now you get some.
And then we wrap up your show for the year. It is, of course, our final show of the year. We'll be back again next week. But at the end of the year, Lyndon, it's been a great year for club rugby. For Western Province winning the Currie Cup. Couldn't have gone better.
It's been all round good year. The women's, the sevens, club rugby, everything. Community Cup, the league, the President's Cup, everything was just been playoff matches. Everything has been good, and then Western Province putting the cherry on the cake for us.
How do you see 2015 going?
Obviously, the Currie Cup remaining in Western Province. I think we've got a couple of very enticing fixtures coming up in Super A, B, and C, which teams that I haven't met ever before. So I think that is something to look forward to. I think
Community Challenge?
Yeah, the Community Challenge as well. I think the Community Challenge is going to be good, where we're going to be matching up against our neighbours in Boland. I think then Community Cup, Hamilton's and Durban representing us. I think they'll be doing good.
Well, listen, my man, thank you very much for joining us here on the last show of the day, of the week, of the year.
Of the year.
And safe home, and make sure you don't get in trouble over the New Year's Eve.
Yeah, no, I'll just put on the Evox sticker on my car. And
Yeah,
just speed through everything because it happens. So.
Yeah. All right, folks, there we go. Then that is a wrap for 2014. We bring you another season of club rugby and, of course, highlights from the professional sector as well. It's been a fantastic year. Look out for 2015. It's going to be even better. We're looking forward to the Community Challenge, which starts on the 7th of February. And then there's the Community Cup. And don't forget, of course, the Varsity Cup. All the Varsity Cup action starts. And then around the 1st of April or so, we'll start off with the league fixtures, and that'll run through to end of September or so. There's Super 15, and then there's Vodacom Cup, and then the Curry Cup. Not to mention the fact that it's the World Cup 2015. We look forward to that. We'll see you again next year. Have a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.